YouTube? Good morning, guys. I just received some baits from my boy Garrett. Lateral lures, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and be tossing a few of these. We're gonna test them out. He wants to see how they hold up, see if we can get anything. Took him to another little spot. As you can see, the fish look like they're about to be munching. So hopefully we can get bit on these. This is my first time using these, and he's got quite a few modes, guys. Y'all check him out on Instagram and try to get you some of these baits. But let's see how they do. Let's see how they do, guys. We're gonna test them out. So stay tuned. First cast. Hey guys, we're gonna work this Grassland, guys. Early in the morning or even late in the evening, bass like to come up and eat towards the grass. And then as the sun comes up and the day progresses, you'll see them where they'll hide a lot and just get off in this grass and protect them from the sun and predators. So we're gonna cast over here on the edge of the grass with this, see what we can get. It's also the more shallow area too. Stop and touch this. Stop and touch this. Got this little protected pocket we're trying to get into. There's something munching right there. Further up. Oh. There we go. Bend it. There we go, right on that grass edge, guys. I think we woke up before the fish woke up. There we go. Oh, I lost him. There he was. Man, okay guys. You see, I just missed that fish. Just missed that fish. And so far, I'm liking the durability of this worm. When you put these vector hooks in there, man, they're sharp. So they usually rip right through. It went through there. The fish must have had the bottom. As you can see, he munched on the bottom. But look at the durability of it. And the scent, after about 10 casts, the scent is still strong. I'm liking it. Oh, he's on. He's running. Oh my goodness. Second hook set. As you can see, the hook pierced through. Second hook set, guys. Hook pierced through like it's supposed to. And I'm still liking the fact this worm is not shattered by now. Not a diss to Yamamoto or any other Senko baits, but in the past, I've thrown baits. You take 2 or 3 hook sets like that, especially big ones, and that worm's usually gone. It's just right there. Guys that like to fish a lot with Senkos, Texas rig style worms and stuff like that, when you get bit, if that worm's still intact, go ahead and finish that cast. Like, work that worm all the way in. As you'll notice, I work that worm all the way here because that fish doesn't stop chasing it. 9 times out of 10, we'll get that bite, miss that fish, reel it on in, if that worm is not torn up or not off the hook, and that fish will be chasing it, and you'll see that splash, and we're like, oh, I missed him. No, it ain't that you missed him. You might be fishing a little too fast for him. So what you want to do is you want to finish that cast, because whatever pause you might have in there might be the time he decided to attack it, guys. So make sure you finish your cast. Like that bait's like right here, literally maybe what, 20 feet? Look at this. I'm gonna work that worm all the way in. But you never know what's in this grass right here, because we're pretty far back and we're not visible to the fish. Definitely finish those casts. All right, got our worm in. Got it. There we go. It's a good one. All right, first fish out the lateral lures. Hey, not bad, guys. We'll take it. All right, guys. Just got our first fish. Same worm. Same worm, guys. I can't stress enough how much I love durability of the plastics. Back in there. Starting to feed along the grass line. You start to see the ripples and see the fish kind of popping on the grass line. So another thing, guys, that I like to stress, you guys don't have a frog. Say for instance, you don't have a frog or a popping perch. You don't need that in the summer times. Guys, a lot of times a weightless Senko or a weightless worm of some kind, see a grass line just like that, them fish can see through them holes. So guys, don't mistake that you have to throw a frog. I can take this same worm and glide it across that grass. Like, we'll take a cast like this, for instance. If I can hit that grass a little further, usually I can cast a little further than that, but what we want to do is, if I hit that grass, I'm going to drag that worm across it real slow and then let it fall right there in front of the grass line. Because they're feeding out of that grass line a lot of times. 9 times out of 10, overnight they'll push up real close, chase bluegill, bass fry, little minnows that's in there, or whatever forage is in that grass. So what you want to do is, you don't want to skip that because you don't have a frog today and just fish this middle or the open areas, or try to find a stick or even a little cut like that. You don't have to do that. You can throw that worm right there. You'll hear the explosion. And what's even better for that worm than a frog is, you get that fish time because you watch your line take off. You know if he has it or not. So a lot of times, if you guys are out there on them places and like, man, I wish I had a frog. You don't need a frog. Go ahead and hook up your weightless Senko or your weightless lizard, and you toss that bad boy in that grass and have some fun with it. See, I very rarely carry frogs. I mean, I love frog fishing, but in my opinion, I don't really need that frog. I can get the same strikes off something like this. So we're gonna finish our cast right here. Always finish them casts, guys. I can't stress that enough because I see it so much, especially in the tournament world. People don't finish that cast, and they're always they're saying they're getting short struck. You're not short struck, you're taking it right away from them. So that we're gonna practice what we preach right there. See, I'm in that grass, right? That grass is thick. But if I'm weedless, I'm not getting hung up in it. As you can see, I'll pop that through there. Right there, through that grass. You see the ripples as it's going through. That fish can feel that over top of it. I just drop it. It gets right there off to the edge and I drop it. Now I work that worm. As soon as it starts falling, I give it about a 2 second or 2 count, and I'll pop that thing and get it in motion. Get his attention. We're gonna work that, like I said, we're still gonna work that. See, you can see ripples coming from that grass line. That's them swimming in and out of there. See, we're gonna finish our cast because there could be a bedding fish. Could be a bedding fish over there. So I can quickly and right back over there in that grass line. Look, bigger ripple right there. More of a black color right here, guys, a little darker. There we go. See if they'll eat this. Let it sink a little bit. Got it. First cast with it. Oh, that was a better one. Oh my goodness. Had it. See, that's what I say, guys. Sun comes up. First thing I do is switch to a little darker color. Has little gold flakes and little green flakes in there. Something that, you know, I go translucent to some opaque, solid colors, because I know they'll pick it up a lot better, especially when that sun's just now getting up there. Skin hook it. Skin hook this one. I think that fish was holding on to the back of that worm. But like I said, guys, it's starting to get, the sun's starting to come up. The bass are starting to, oh, there we go. He hit it as soon as it hit the water. Oh, I missed him. See, they're grabbing, they're not committing to it right now, guys. Man. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Hook so sharp. Boy, them vectors so sharp. Hook the bottom. Grab that bad boy as soon as it hits. Like I said, once again, guys, like I'm saying, the sun's starting to come up. As you can see, this side is shaded. This side is starting to lose some of its shade, and the bass are starting to go shallow towards the grass. Now that is a good thing for you guys to fish, for us to fish off the bank, especially in a pond or some of these lakes. It's good for these bass to push up close and try to get off in some of this grass to hide out from the sun. Makes it easier to kind of locate them and kind of, you know, kind of feel them out a little bit, because if they're in the shade up close, right over there, they're feeding on some bait. You can target them pretty close. It makes it a lot easier. Uh-oh. Oh, we got grass. Should shook it off. I'm slinging this thing and it's not even flying off. Even after being beat up and battled like it has been, these worms are still staying on that hook. Bottom, there we go. Still maintaining contact with the bottom, guys. I like to use a 4/0 or a 5/0 hook on anything 5 inches or even 6 inch or 7 inch worms. I like to use a 4/0 or a 5/0. I'm not saying you have to, but me, I like to maintain contact with the bottom when I'm throwing anything weightless. So I want a kind of a heavier hook. Now the thing about the Vectors, they're a lighter hook. They're real sharp, they're a lighter hook, but the bigger the size, it sinks a little faster. Shake this grass off. I got some grass on here, guys. Shake that grass off. Get off there. Got it. That's that big one. Stand back for it. Gotta keep up with her. There we go. That's a good one off of there. That's the one we've been after. There we go. That's my one. Right in the middle. Rod down. Okay, guys, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about rod positioning. Okay, with a floating style worm, depending on how heavy your hook is, I usually keep mine about 10 o'clock. There's a reason for that. I want it to stay on the bottom. See how I got a little bit of slack in it? I'll raise it from 10 to 11, as you can see. 10 to 11 o'clock. 9 o'clock is okay. If I have like a Texas rig, I go from 9 to 10. But right, usually something weightless, letting it sink. I go from 10 to 11. I don't feel my bait, I go back down, about 9. Just to make sure, I'll bump it a little bit. If I feel a tug, I'll drop it down to 8, and then I'll set it all the way to 12 o'clock. But 9 times out of 10, you'll catch me with it at 10 o'clock, right about here, to 11. 10 o'clock to 11, right there. I can still feel it dragging that bottom, I mean, you can get a pretty good, you can still get a decent hook set from here if he tight lines you. But as you can see today, they're hitting so crazy. Oh, we got a fish right next to us, guys. Hold on, we got a visitor. We got a fish right next to us, eating off that grass line. See, now I know there's a fish there, so I'm already at 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I seen that fish move 9 o'clock straight to 10. I'm gonna move it a little bit. Back to 9. Okay. Oh man, that fish must have been just cruising. Now you can see, guys, it's low light. So a lot of times, guys, when it's low light out here, you get a lot of bass that just cruise. I mean, that sunlight is not bothering them. So they're gonna cruise the grass lines, they're gonna cruise the flats, the shallows, and it'll get you sometimes. Like, it just got me. I mean, you'll spend a lot of time wasted trying to get them cruisers when they're just, could be just looking around, could be full, just trying to look for some cover or something to get into. They can feel that sun starting to heat up on them or something. So don't waste a lot of time on the cruisers, but at least give it a shot. So right now, I had that cruiser right here, and I cast up the line because I'm seeing more fish starting to work their way down this way. But as you guys can see, I have not moved out of this area yet. There's a reason for that. I haven't moved out of this area yet because I want to thoroughly fish in between here and there. So when I do make that move, I know I get just a different angle. That fish might be set up a little different. It's kind of like in your boat position. Like, certain angle might not be what he wants. You might not like that spinnerbait, going straight across them. He might want it going right over top of us. We're gonna give it one more cast towards the middle before we make a move over there and work that grass line. All right, guys, we moved locations. Had about 5 or 6 guys come out there on that small body of water. Same time we were there. So we decided just to move out of here. Because if you guys fish a lot, you already know how annoying it can get to be on a smaller body of water and have like people all just crowded up on there. So went ahead and we came out, traveled a little distance, hit an old spot. We're gonna test these out. Hopefully we can get big, guys. Stay tuned. Got a little more grass. Sticks off in here. Fish bite that buzz bait. There we go. Another good one.